It is dangerous.
First, and also the last time we came across this project was nearly 4 years ago. Nothing ever since, until last week we finally had an update, in fact gameplay, on a game called Unknown 9 Awakening. This might just be the most surprising reveal within 2024 so far, in what seems to be an action-adventure RPG like Assassin's Creed games, meaning basically it's a stealth-based game, except the characters got superpowers. This game is coming out to PCs in the next generation of consoles within 2024. Check it out, it's a short trailer. That being said, Nixon, the same Korean developers in charge of the game Blue Archive, mostly mobile games however, have a brand new project in the making, which I've mentioned maybe once before, made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 going by the name Vindictus, Defying Fate. It was announced last week the game is an action RPG hack and slasher that actually shares the same universe with the MMORPG Vindictus itself, and it's going to be coming to the next generation of consoles additionally by the end of 2024. Check it out. A beta will actually take place for this one rather soon.
They said it came out of the icy waves of the North Sea. Born of its raging expanse.
Mighty Koi Studio, same Warsaw-based studio who had The Witcher thing in mind for a remake or even a sequel, has two big games in the making as of today. Legit. The first one of which goes by the name The Night Wanderer, coming to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PCs, although the release date for this one is still yet to be announced. It's a AAA Unreal Engine 5 made science fiction fantasy role-playing Souls-like anime Metroidvania. Check it out. The Sinking City has a sequel in the works, only this time it's going in a totally different direction. Frogwares just came out to announce this new story-rich Lovecraftian game will be a survival horror and an open world game, but much more action-oriented in nature as opposed to the first game. It'll be hitting PCs and the next generation of consoles early next year. Not just that, a Kickstarter campaign is also planned for it.
I'm in the business of secrets, but it's more of an addiction. I like him straight. No chaser. Even though the stuff can kill you.
Once a while, we get a good one of these, and it's that time of the year. Nobody Wants to Die was announced over just a few days ago and seems to be the next best detective noir game, a cyberpunk adventure game we should probably be waiting for. This game is set in New York 2329, where technology is advanced enough to allow consciousness to be stored in memory banks or transformed from one to another body. This game is coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles later this year.
Secrets that enslave us. Secrets that poison us. Secrets that rip us apart. Secrets I'm gonna drag into the light. Or they'll drag me to hell.
Arrakis is a test. Few survive it.
That being said, if you've already gone watching Dune, the second part, and just would like some more, Dune Awakening might just be the thing for you. Although we're still waiting on a release window, not even a precise date, developers went on and released another trailer for it on IGN a few days ago, promising much more in this experience. Dune Awakening, for those of you new, is an MMO survival base building game announced roughly 2 years ago, what works a little bit maybe like the Conan Exiles. Moving on to number 7. We've got a PvPvE looter shooting game set in 2222, the year, which is a lot inspired by the Armored Core games, but just works as an online extraction shooter. It's actually the work of Bandai Namco itself, going by the name Sensuality Echo of Ada, and here's how it works. The game is actually going to go through an open beta for all players starting March 28th this year, coming out by the end of the year, and is finished form. The same studio that's making The Night Wanderer, which we mentioned earlier at number 3, has another AAA game in the making, in fact a AA plus in the making, going by the name Thorgal. Thorgal is an action-adventure game with RPG elements just the same, based on a famous Polish comic series from almost 50 years ago, letting players live the life of a Viking which fights bandits, monsters, and eventually gods. This game is coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles sometime next year. It's been almost 3 years since its first reveal, in fact 4 years since its concept sketches came out. Little Devil Inside was just resurfaced a few days ago and it all seems to be in great shape. We got more gameplay for it and the promised Unreal Engine 5 visual as well. Little Devil Inside is an open world survival action adventure coming out of a Kickstarter and is perhaps the finest minimalistic game ever made compared to anything else. That being said, we're still waiting on a release date. Number 10. We've got here the sequel to the old Greedfall, now going by the name Greedfall: The Dying World. It's one of the longest awaited open world BioWare style RPGs. Apparently the story seems to be starting 3 years actually before the events of the first game, and you play as this native in the old world ravaged by war, plague, some other stuff. This game is coming to all consoles within 2024, possibly late.
Survived a crash landing on a hostile planet. He quickly realizes that what was supposed to be a lifetime job opportunity.
Probably the second most cinematic game into this list, we've got a story-heavy decision-based adventure game by the same developers of the Frostpunk recent game and their previous title, the game This War of Mine, another game called The Altars, which we've seen so far no legit gameplay of, but said to be this thing wholly about what our decisions specifically do in life without us even noticing. Would they end up?
Yan simply lacks the time and skills to deal with all these problems on his own. But the planet Yan is stranded on is home to a mysterious substance called Rapidium. With its use and the help of the quantum computer on board, Yan is able to create alternative versions of himself. The Altars. Each one of them is the result of altering a crucial decision from Yan's past. The Altars are a reflection of the questions he asks himself. What if I never left my hometown?
Possibly the best game Capcom has been coming out with on its own since Onimusha, or out of this just entire genre. We've got a huge spiritual successor in the making called Kunitsugami, Path of the Godless, which just kinda looks like all Onimusha games mixed with better graphics, more vibrant, and a lot crazier in action. Like, somewhere it's on Ashura's wrath and Onimusha had a baby. Not just that, it's actually being made with the use of Unreal Engine 5. This game is said to be coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles late 2024.
tree of change bears fruit.
Coming from Italy, this has actually been a while since I've mentioned this one, or maybe not, I don't remember, but I like to think it's remotely close to most games that we've seen recently, and now finally today over here with the release date of June 21st, 2024, PCs and the next generation of consoles. And Not Sure the Last Song is a Souls-like action role-playing game that actually takes place in a world based on Italian culture and folklore, adding a bit of a twist into Souls, which is this choice-driven, story-heavy game and also a Souls-like. Take a look.
So ages come and pass, and memories become legend. The stage is set.
Everyone's got an ex-employer they wish they never worked for. Not everyone's ex-employer set them up to take a fall.
Announced as a Microsoft exclusive last week, number 14, we have a game called Sleight of Hand. Touted by its developers as a hard-boiled third-person stealth action espionage game, where your job is to infiltrate your old witch coven using a deck of cards, which doesn't make sense. I get it didn't to me either in the beginning, but the trailer over here is a pretty good job indicating of what you can expect from this thing. Sleight of Hand still doesn't have a release date.
Over there! She's here!
Not tonight, boys. If the Coven wants to play, they'll have to play dirty.
Every step forward is paid in blood.
We've got another open world action RPG in the making, announced roughly a week ago, which ever since we've been waiting on a good list to include this one. And of course, as you can see, the sequel to the old co-op survival gem Outward. This time, promising a range of improvements over the original, including a larger, more alive, more filled with non-combat encounters, day and night cycles, refined combat, and much more content.
I have watched them grow. At every turn, they surprise me with their adaptability, their resilience, and their grit.
You know the dangers they face. Only the exceptional can overcome those odds.
No, darling. Even ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Look how far our world has expanded. All because they chose to venture into the unknown. Don't hold their hand. Just open the door, and they'll do the rest.
Coming up behind that, we've got another AAA brand new project from a new developer in town going by the name A Silent Desolation. This one is a science fiction based halfway Fallout inspired, another half even Death Stranding in style. The game is touted as an open world survival action adventure, and it's also the work of a solo developer, made in Unreal Engine. This will be a PC exclusive and coming out possibly late 2024.
You're already dead.
Kingmakers, on the other hand, might just do the trick if you're not surprised enough already. This game is a battle simulation strategy and a third-person shooter. Set back in the medieval times, the promise is just let you go back in time with a vast arsenal of modern weapons to change the course of history and possibly save the future. Here's a trailer. This game is coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles by the end of 2024. And last but not least, coming to PCs exclusively mid to late 2024, we've got Soul Mask. Soul Mask is described by its developers as a sandbox game that prioritizes an authentic survival experience. You start from nothing, you explore, build, recruit tribesmen to fortify your clan, and ultimately then unravel the mysterious truths hidden behind the civilization of the world itself. Check it out.
Wishlist now on Steam. Play the demo during Steam Next Fest.